My name is Matejka Baumgardner. I currently reside here in Western New York, but I grew up in New Mexico on the Navajo Reservation. And in that language, we introduce ourselves as She'eya Matejka Baumgardner Nishya, Tsitna Jenny Nishle, Tatni Satni Bashishchin. I served the Marine Corps from 1999 to 2003. I was stationed with 7th Communications Battalion in Okinawa, Japan for 2 years. And then I was with 9th Communications Battalion in Camp Pendleton, California. During that time frame, we had a few deployments to South Korea and during the OIF, OEF at Camp Commando in Kuwait. I think it was definitely being around other individuals in the military. The diversity is so vast, you know, a lot of different type of personalities, a lot of different type of leadership styles. And that's what I had enjoyed the most about it, and making, you know, friends and, you know, troops and service members that, you know, I still keep in contact with today. I think those are a lot of the memories, all the young stuff that we used to do, and you know, probably should have gotten in trouble for, but didn't. So we had good, very good leadership. Well, when I got out of the military, you know, just like a lot of transitioning military veterans trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do next with my career? And it took me taking a step back, doing like a career assessment to look deep down inside to say, okay, what do I want more? Do I want a job that pays more salary, gives me more exposure, or do I want something that I was missing, which was that purpose? And a lot of that purpose was stemming back to, you know, the military. I always felt a need to take care of my service members and my, you know, my Marines, and you know, just being the oldest of my family as well, taking care of, you know, my brothers, and you know, and currently in the military now, my sisters as well. So I missed that part. I missed that camaraderie. I missed that, you know, sense of unit, sense of family, as I was here in Western New York. So that started me on the path of waiting out for my position to open up. I believe I waited about 2 years for this specific job for it to open up in order for me to apply, and just keep busy with other types of positions in the meantime. But yep, I'm still doing that job today. It's definitely over 10 years now, and I still love it as I did day one. Well, the favorite events through the Veterans One Stop Center has definitely been painting. I didn't realize that, you know, I had such a great interest in that until, you know, we started doing that during the pandemic. The other things is just going out and trying different places to eat, different cuisine, just being around other veterans, you know, having that talk. Which is normally what I normally didn't have before, just because in a work setting, you know, it's mainly professional. But now, being as a veteran, I can converse with my vets, you know, just about daily life, and just seeing how they really, how they're doing, how their families are doing, and they ask me in return, you know, how's your family doing, how the kids, stuff like that. I definitely feel like it's important to let, you know, especially my children know that, you know, there are veterans out there that have a variety of different type of disabilities. Now they don't even see it because they've been around veterans who have been amputees, or, you know, veterans with PTSD. They can kind of notate now and see a little bit of that bit of a difference, but they don't think of anybody else any differently either. And for me as a mom, that makes me extremely proud, you know, and just to see them, me volunteering with the events, or, you know, just putting them out there to try something new with new kids to work on social communication skills. While these programs also provide me and my kids some quality one-on-one time that maybe I wouldn't have thought of, or didn't know how to get to, or had monetary funds to do some of these things. So the programs here have definitely helped out in that area to just give us an opportunity to try it. Connecting with veterans is, I think, key. You know, it definitely takes a lot of people to man a boat, you know, and that's the boat through life, you know, and it's definitely very important to have that community engagement. It does take a community to help raise a child, you know, and sometimes you do need to lean on different people. Every veteran that you meet has a specific skill, has a specific talent that you can kind of see how they think and how they do things. And it could make, your life a little bit easier in some cases. I have some friends who come over and help me with my electrical, help me with mechanical stuff, give me a different take on, before I take my vehicle into maintenance. Just parenting techniques too, it's like, okay, do I feel like I'm being a little bit too hardcore on my boys with the specific interests? And they're like, no, they make you feel comfortable. And in some cases, they definitely make you think. Some of the veterans go to church, some do not. And it's seeing that engagement between that, it definitely has widened my scope of, just being around a lot of alpha individuals, and we all mesh together, and that we have that commonality. I think it's just being part of a group. I think deep down I always have been optimistic. I have been very outgoing. I never really stayed with one particular group. I kind of went to different, social groups or different type of groups of people. So I never really felt like I was just stuck in one category. I like being expressive, either with my hands, with my words, with the things that I do, activities. So that kind of keeps me out and going. I guess one thing most people have said is that, if I tried something, they knew that they could do it because I did. And in some cases, like that Adirondacks ice climb that I've completed, I was definitely scared about that, but it opened the doors for more females to want to do it the next year. And same thing with, the Veterans Golfing Program, same thing. There's a lot of interest now of females that want to do that. So even just, we had 2 other females that joined the Veterans One Stop group for one of the dinners. They didn't know anybody else, but they knew that I had gone before, and we all carpooled together. And it was just, just creating that opportunity, and to say, you have these events that you can go to, and having that optimism, having that smiling face, makes somebody's day. It could make somebody's year, just to feel like they're included, that they are part of something, and they are. I do have my down days. It's not always positive rainbows and flowers. So I do take part in different type of counseling sessions as well, and I've taken a lot of different types of counseling, mindfulness classes, yoga, Tai Chi, a lot of different things that just is tapping into different emotions and different ways of coping with that, communication classes. So I'm still a work in progress, but hopefully a lot of that experience comes through to help somebody else too, because we're all in this together. I think now we're coming into a generational phase to where more women are being outspoken, and they're being more comfortable voicing that. And we still see, a little bit of pushback from those groups, but we're not going at it alone anymore. We're reaching out to other female veterans for support, and female veterans in our groups know that they do have that support behind them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the same person. It could be a variety of different women in our group. So I think that it's a very encouraging time. Even in the public sector, you're still seeing women that are getting paid less than men. A lot of women have been pushed over for job postings that they're equally qualified for, but due to certain discrimination, they're not. And so we still see that in the world, but we're becoming more aware of that too.
I like that.
My advice to those who are isolating is the hardest part is making that phone call. The hardest part is just signing up for an event. And writing it down is definitely helpful, manifesting what you want and just trying something new. More than likely, you will find somebody there to talk to. You'll find people there that are very open, and the team here, the staff here, is very kind, friendly, very open to talk to, and a lot of it, it's non-judgmental. So you come as you are, we'll accept you. You're here with us now, and if you're not, you can still do the virtual events at certain things. And I would just say that is the hardest part, is just showing up and signing up. You know, out of everything that I've done and everything that's on paper, all the awards, the ribbons, the recognition at all different levels, I still don't see it. I still don't see why, because that's just something naturally, inherently, I think that's what I grew up knowing that I needed to do. It wasn't a question of you do it for the glory, you do it for your community, you do it for the others around you. And I think a lot of that has pushed me to do a lot of things that put me outside of my comfort zone. Maybe put myself out there publicly more so than I would like. So, but I think that's pretty much about it. You know, my parents have instilled into me that a lot of the stuff through life is not easy, and sometimes you do have to trudge through the mud to get to the top of the hill. And you know, I still feel like I'm not completely at the top of the hill, but it is a pretty nice scenery from up here, being able to feel confident enough to tell others, hey, come on up, you're almost there. So I'd rather encourage others to move forward, if not more so higher than where I am, than, you know, just looking down or just being up there alone. I don't like that feeling, being up there alone. I'd rather have other people with me.